G'day, I'm Mitchell Dale. This is Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy. Joined on the couch today by Tony Adams, Martin Lenihan from Rugby League Week. Boys, a couple of cracking games tonight, starting with North Queensland and Brisbane there at Suncorp Stadium. Now, we went and caught up with Sam Thaiday at Broncos training earlier in the week to speak about what this rivalry means to him. Let's have a listen.
It's always fantastic to play the Cowboys. Myself, as a Townsville kid, I grew up sitting on the hill at Dairy Farmers Stadium back in those days, and I'd sit there with all my mates, and win, lose or draw, we'd still show up every week and watch the Cowboys play. But this local derby, as they call it, is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing a big crowd show up at Suncorp Stadium, and it's probably one of the toughest games to play in every year. We always try and get that game up on one another, and hopefully we can continue on from last week and get another win on the board.
Yeah, guys, I want to have a bet on this game.
Don't do it.
The last 5 clashes, only 6 points in it, too close to call.
Yeah, look, I think this is a massive game for the Cowboys as well as the Broncos. Cowboys, last time they won 2 in a row to start the year was 06. Now, that was a long time ago. They're a very up and down side. Brent Tate, one of the stars for them. We also caught up with him this week. Let's hear what he's got to say, Mitch.
Obviously, 2 great clubs. Been fortunate enough to be part of both of them. I think what makes it so special is that, you're going for bragging rights at Queensland, obviously. Well, I guess being a part of the Cowboys, you've always been known as the little brother to the big Brisbane Broncos club. So I think it's always been a real focus for us to get up on this one and show the big brother how it's done. Well, I think, winning at the start of the season is always important, especially, come Origin time when we've got some really key players that'll be missing from our side. So, it is important. It's, we need to keep that roll on, and, 2 points at this stage of the year, as I said before, is really important in that Origin period. Yeah, there's no better place to play rugby league than at Suncorp when it's full. And as I said before, I think that's what adds to the great rivalries between the 2 clubs, is that the supporters are so passionate about both their clubs, and there's always going to be a big crowd there. And first game of the year at Suncorp on a Friday night, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people there cheering.
Yeah, that's right. Both sides pretty pumped for it. It means a whole lot more than just a normal premiership game for them.
Sure does.
Tony, who's your tip?
Cowboys, for one reason, Jonathan Thurston, best player in the world.
Broncos, because of Sam Thaiday. Great TV talent, writes for League Week. He'll get the money.
I'm not sure about your theory there, mate, but I'm sticking with the Broncos as well. I think they'll get home on the back of a huge crowd there at Suncorp. Another big game tonight is there at Gosford. Souths and Manly, replay of last year's preliminary final. You're right, it is a huge game. We caught up with Souths halfback Adam Reynolds earlier in the week. This is what he had to say.
Oh, it's always a good challenge, mate. They're a good, nice physical team, and they've earned some success over the years, and it's just going to be a good challenge to see where they're at as well.
Yeah, interesting story in Rugby League Week this week. Tony, you caught up with Craig Coleman, had a chat to him about Reynolds. What's he think?
Yeah, Tugger Coleman, probably the best South halfback of the modern era.
For sure.
He says he's got a great passing game, a great kicking game, but he needs to run the ball more.
Tony, now funny you should mention him running. I've done some homework. The man he plays against tonight, Daly Cherry Evans, he's the benchmark. Controversial Churchill medal winner last year, but we move on from there. 184 times Mitchie ran the ball last year for 1,500 metres. Compare that to Reynolds only 100 times in 26 games. There's a huge gulf there. This bloke's the benchmark. I think tonight Reynolds can prove a point against Daly Cherry Evans.
Yeah, we put that figure to Adam this week. What's he think about that?
Oh, mate, he's a great player, and once again, I don't have a personal battle with him. I'm more focused on my job for the team, and I'm not getting carried away about getting the points over him on the night. I'm just focusing on getting the win for the team.
Okay, there you go. Leno, you've already given us your tip. Tony, who do you think?
Can't go past Souths after last week. They look like premiers in round 1.
Certainly did.
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with you guys. I think the Rabbitohs will do it quite easily, get a little bit of payback for last year. Boys, feel-good story for me from last weekend was Parramatta. Great first-up win there against the Warriors. Corey Norman in Rugby League Week this week says that they've been given a licence to throw the ball around. Brad Arthurs said, if you see it, go for it. We want to throw the ball.
Great buy, I've got to say, Corey Norman and Mitch, I've done it again. I've gone back to the stats. Can I tell you, boys, in 01, when Brian Smith coached them, and they just took that competition by storm, 32 points a game. The last 2 years of the wooden spoon years, for goodness sake, they were down to 18 and 13 points a game last year.
Awful.
But wait, there's hope. 36 they put on last weekend. I think they're showing signs. A lot to do with Brad Arthur.
For sure. Now, Brad, he's the guy the players wanted. His strength is really defence, believe it or not. He was the defence coach at Manly, and you'll see the results there this year. I'm pretty confident. Yeah,
he's a real players' coach. I know that the players wanted him a few years ago when he was there as caretaker coach to take over the side. What is it about him that really gets the players to respond to him?
He's really had the perfect apprenticeship. He was under Craig Bellamy at Melbourne. That's where he learnt attention to detail, hard work. He's transferred that to the Eels, and I think we'll see the results this year.
Some of those traits haven't exactly been Parramatta's the last few years, have they? So they've obviously had some coaches they weren't all that happy with. I think Brad is the man to bring them out. Look, they've got to play the Roosters this week. It's a daunting task, but I think we'll get another good indication, boys, of where they're headed.
Yeah, that's right. Let's not forget they did beat the Warriors by 30 in round one last year and it all fell apart. You get the feeling this year that won't happen again. Now, boys, I promised you a mole scoop.
Oh, here we go.
He tells me Tom Burgess, the foot injury that he's got, it's a lot worse than first thought. Could have to have surgery, which means we may not be seeing him for quite a while. So I thought he came on really well across the back end of last year, so certainly going to set him back a little bit.
Yeah, a few problems for South. They can't stay out of the news, the Burgess boys, can they, Tone?
I love it.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us, boys. Great weekend of footy coming up. Hope you enjoy it. We'll catch you next week for Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy.